Hello everybody, my name is Stephen Howson. I'm here for Warrington Wolves and I'm here with Ben Currie and we are going to look at some photographs, a bit of a trip down memory lane ahead of the Challenge Cup final. Ben, talk to me about this one. What do you remember of that day?
This one?
What date is that?
This one's my debut in April 2012 that is now, so 7 years ago. I remember obviously Tony was our coach then and the rumours, the weeks building up to this game, there was rumours building that I was possibly going to play in this one. Trent Waterhouse was going to get rested. And he pulled me in the Padgate gym and he said, he actually said I'm starting, which that's caught me by surprise. I thought maybe I'd be on the bench and get the last 20 minutes or just to get involved, but he said you're starting, chucked me straight in there and played me the full game.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, really good, really good. Definitely when you're that young, you don't seem to get as tired, you're just running around all game, so I really enjoyed it.
What sticks out from that game?
Just looking around the people you're with. I think the week before, obviously, you're playing with all the academy lads, and the week after, you look to your side and Ed Myler, Atkins, Chris Riley, and they were all playing with me. So just the people around you and the way they talk is completely different.
The next photograph that we've got isn't something that you was involved with, but Challenge Cup final win.
Yeah.
What's your memory of this day? Because you wasn't involved, was you?
No, that was the same year as my debut, the 2012 one. So I'd only played 3, 4, 5 games that year, so I wasn't involved in the match day squad. I wasn't in the 25. I think I was number 32 that year, so I weren't involved. But they took us all down as the academy, so you probably can't see it, but right at the back at the top, we were all there as the academy squad, travelled down to watch him. And I remember seeing Kev Penny. He wasn't even involved in the squad, but also he wasn't involved in the starting team, but he was in the squad, and the way he was celebrating afterwards, even though he weren't involved in the starting team, was amazing to see. And I want to be involved, want to be part of that one day as well.
How far away do you think you was from being involved in a matchday squad? Was you told well in advance that, look, there's no chance for this, or did you have any sort of hope going into the game that you thought you might get a sniff?
I think the squad we had with Waterhouse and Benny West from the back rows, I wasn't really going to get close to that team at that time, but so I knew I never had expectations to play, so I kind of knew that. So I just got to bide my time, and hopefully one day and maybe even this week at the Challenge Cup I'll be able to lift it.
Talk to me about this one. This looks like a happy one.
Yeah, this is one of the better moments in Rugby League, to play on the Wembley field, and not just to play but to actually get over the line and score a try was an amazing feeling. And in that corner where I scored, that's where all our families are up at the top, and obviously I couldn't spot them in the crowd on that day, but a couple of days after, my partner told me that she looked over at my dad and he nearly had tears in his eyes. He was that happy, and I say that's one of the highlights of my career, and one that I'll never forget.
But not this one.
No. Unfortunately, this is in the same game, part of the Rugby League game. Obviously, you go from your highs to your lows. So in the same game, I've had my high and obviously my lowest low, well, one of my lowest lows in Rugby League. But it's part of the sport, unfortunately. And obviously, I'd love to get over the line, but I still feel I had a great game. But unfortunately, the matter of inches is the difference from winning and losing.
At what point did you realise you wasn't going over there? Or did you think you'd scored?
I think if you watch the video, which I've seen many a times, when people showing me, I'm kind of smiling, and then I see the ball come out and you see the grimace in my face. So with the wet turf, I could have easily slid over the line, but unfortunately, just that patch on the grass wasn't wet enough to slide me over.
So 2016, you suffered your first ACL injury, 9 months out of the game, but it did end with a little bit of joy. Going to a World Cup, what was that like? Yeah,
definitely. So the end of 2016, I had the injury just 2 weeks before the grand final, so I missed all the grand final. I was heartbroken, devastated. Never really missed a game in Rugby League through injury in my life, and to get an ACL injury, one of the worst ones to miss such a length of period of time out of the game as well, was devastating. And I probably in my head thought I was going to come back sooner than I did, and it kind of went on for a bit longer and longer. And I think it was around my birthday time, so it was around July. I actually made my comeback game that year. Then the week after, I had another setback with it and missed a couple of weeks. So I was really panicking, really worried at that stage in my career. And I come back and got the last 2 games in the Super 8, in the middle eights that year it was as well. When Wayne Bennett he called me and gave me the good news that he liked what I did and he wanted me to be a part of the squad. I felt like I could cover a couple of positions and be a good part of the squad. So from my lowest, one of my lows again, to build this again, it's part of Rugby League. Go from your lows to your highs in the flip of a coin, and straight away I'm on a plane going to Australia to play in a World Cup for England.
Talk me through this game, semi-final of a World Cup. What's the euphoria like when you know you've got through?
Oh, it's one of the best feelings. I know I told Wayne Bennett before this that if we won, because my mum and dad, they weren't there at the game, and they travel everywhere to watch me, and to miss my England debut and to miss me playing for England was devastating for them, and I was gutted for them. So I kind of knew in the back of my mind, if we won that or when we won that, I was going to ring my dad and tell him that I'd to book the flights because I'm flying him over. So that was a great feeling, and that's one of the first things I thought of about ringing my dad and letting him know that he's going to come to Australia and watch me in the World Cup final. So that was a great moment.
Not a happy picture.
No.
I'm assuming this is full time.
Yep.
What's going through your head right there?
Mixed emotions. Obviously, I was devastated to lose the game, but I think I'm also kind of looking around to look where I've come from my injury and what I can achieve. But obviously, your first thoughts at that moment are how devastated it was, and I was absolutely exhausted. And at that point in that pitch, it's one of the toughest games I've ever played in. I felt like the ball just never went out of play, and it was continuous for 80 minutes. And
it was close as well.
It was 6-0.
One score's going to make a massive difference.
6-0. I don't think I've ever played in a rugby league game before that. There's only been one try, and I think was it Callum Watkins nearly went through right at the end and just got ankle tapped. If he didn't get that ankle tap on him, Elliot Whitehead would have been under the post and 6-all. So I said that they're the little margins in rugby league. One of the toughest games, but also one of my best memories to play in a World Cup final.
And we're back at Wembley.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Yeah, so obviously after that World Cup I didn't get the pre-season I wanted to. I only got 3-4 weeks because you don't get a chance to get back into it too much. And I come back, obviously I started the first 6 games or so, 8 games, and I picked up my second ACL injury, and so I knew at that point I was done for the rest of the year. There was no chance of coming back for even the grand final at the end, so I'd written it all off. But when you get to games like this and then I'm up in the crowd watching with a few of the other boys, it hurts at that point that you've missed your chance again. And I said when the big games come around, you're devastated that you're not on the field with the boys, and obviously to watch them go through what they did again with another defeat wasn't easy, and obviously the mood after the game is never nice.
What's going through your mind between this photo and this photo to get back to doing this?
Yeah, obviously when you get injured, you have to have a couple of weeks to probably go away, calm down a bit, relax, and get your head right. But then once you come back in, you need to be switched on from minute one. I did some things different, possibly in my second rehab to my first rehab. Whether that's made a difference, I don't know. But I feel like I knuckled down real hard and thought I'm not going through that again. I've done it twice now. A third one would be way too much for me to handle again. So to get through that, and to always think about like this type of picture that you can be back on the field again, it makes it a bit easier, but it feels a long way away. But as the weeks and months tick by, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and what a feeling that was to make a comeback game.
So from the comeback, obviously we've got the semi-final. We've got a great performance in the semi-final, which has now set up this again.
Yeah.
Well, this time's going to have you in there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this little journey then, to get back here and what it's going to mean to play back at Wembley.
Yeah. This was a really, really tough game. The picture shows it. The rain was bouncing down, I think, from minute 1 to minute 80, and it was a really tough battle. It was swinging both ways. We was in front, they was in front, and but they're the games that when you come out on top and you win them type of games that are that close, you get a real belief in your squad. You know you can go toe to toe with the best teams in the league and come out on top. Because I think we lost a couple of them. But when you win that and you know that you're again going to be involved in such a special day like this, and obviously with our opponent Saints who are at the top of the league as well, there'd be no better feeling to beat the team that is top of the league. And I can imagine it being a sell-out stadium with the game on after us as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting back on that turf.
So what is going to be the difference so we can see this at the end of this game?
Rather than that one. Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle. We know that. We've played them in the league a couple of times since now, and they've come out on top. But apart from the first one, the second two have been really close, and we had a mixed squad in the latest game. So I think from that second one, we can take a lot of belief. We know we can beat these. We had a sin bin and little things go against us, but we know that you'd rather lose the 3 league games and win the final. So this is the big one. The big trophy's on the line for us. We're all going to be up for it, and I really can't wait to get back on that turf again.
You bringing it home?
I hope so, yeah, I think we will do.
All right, Ben, thank you for your time. Good luck. Challenge Cup final, Warrington, St Helens. We'll see you there.